My name is Ashutosh and welcome to the channel Books. Now, today I'm going to talk about the book which is the Stephen King's The Institute. And मैं आपको बताऊं, एक बात है कि स्टीफन किंग के सारे बुक्स आपको बहुत सही लगेंगे. And he has a lot of genre basically which has focus upon the horror, the science fiction part, the psychological thriller part, and you will really love it. The reason behind that is Stephen King has a lot of books, and the main focus of those books, like told you, which is horror, science fiction, and these are the most selected categories by most of the readers. Like they choose fantasy, they choose science fiction, they choose thriller, they choose horror, and all that kind of stuff. And that is what Stephen King focuses upon more and more. Now, if I were to talk about Stephen King, if you don't know about him prior knowledge about, you don't have any prior knowledge about that author, he has written more than 62 or 65 books. Most of them are novellas also, and like novellas are short stories basically. And then there are many books which are kind of non-fiction. There is this one book which is very famous, which is on writing. And by that book you can actually know how to write a book. So basically I have been following that book also, but let's see when I'll be properly making a result out of that book. So that is the thing about all the previous works which Stephen King has done. So basically this book, Stephen King's The Institute, was released in 2019, and I don't know what made him write this book, because I didn't like that. I didn't like this very much, because if you read his previous works like The Stand, the It, not the It, the It means It book, and because those are the main epic books of his. Like The Stand is considered, or not considered, it is basically the book with most pages. Like it is around 1400 pages, around something like that. The second book which comes after that is It, which has around 1320 pages. So basically why I'm saying this is, if you want to know more and more deeply about how Stephen King writes, what are the basic like we can say, what are the signature moves. Like there are signature moves in WWE and all that categories. Like आपको पता है कि रैंडी ऑर्टन का आकेओ होगा, या फिर रे मिस्टीरियो का बोयाका and all that 619 step. So basically if you were to consider that in a writing style, so Stephen King's description are very much like that. Like every book there you will find something significant, signature move, like something significant description manner. So that is very focused in this book also, which is The Institute. And so basically the books like The Stand, It, so basically The Institute is something like that also. It has all those genres like psychological thriller, horror fiction, and all that stuff. But this is basically more focused upon children and their superpowers, like telepathic powers, telekinetic powers, and all that stuff, which is actually more preferred when it comes to Stephen King's works. If you have watched the series like Stranger Things, which has a highly great reference made by the Stephen King's works, you will notice that there are also the same powers, like telekinetic powers, telepathic powers, and all that stuff. So this book has also a lot of that work. The main character of this book is Tim Jamison and Luke Ellis, but more on the brighter side is Luke Ellis has the main character, and then Tim Jamison, and both of these characters meet at some point in the middle of the book, and then the further events go. So I like this book, but if you were to compare this with the previous works of his, the previous works are much better than this one. And if you were to ask me that should I read it or should I skip it, then I will definitely say you should skip it, because his other works are a lot better. You will find more content, more proper description, more proper idea about how Stephen King writes in the previous books. And so yeah, that is my review about the Stephen King's The Institute. And my rating in from 5 star would be 3.5, I guess, because 1.5 is that it kind of seemed a little repetitive in terms of the characters, descriptions, and all that, and also the powers and all that. So because it seems like a saturation if you have read most of his works, but if you are reading his work for the first time, like this book for the first time, then I think you will find something new. So yeah, that was it for today, and in the next video we will discuss more books about Stephen King also, and not general in only Stephen King. We will also discuss about many books regarding self-help and all that. And if you want any description about any book which you want to read, and review about a book which you want to read, so you can drop that book's name and author's name in the comment section below. Until then, peace.